Copy. That's true, huh? So, I know a bit about refineries, of course. Of course. So these are the regular flare-ups, the 2 stacks. So those are good. That's normal. What is out of the ordinary is that, which I believe is going to be the explosion would have been there. Yeah, these 2 are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So, okay. And thank you to everyone who is joining us online. I'm Eliana Marino alongside Pally George Marcineau, and we're taking a look here at the Chevron refinery in El Segundo, just off of Sepulveda and Rosecrans, and you can see there is a lot of flame coming from the refinery. Now, one thing that I was just talking with George about is just the different areas of flames that we're seeing, what's normal and what's not normal. So the 2 stacks that you see here, that is normal. These are your regular, basically, burn-off areas. This is very typical for whenever there's excess gases. You will see the refinery flare stacks like this. So this, what you're seeing here, is very typical behavior. What looks off to me, though, is over here. So you see that unit there? That does not look normal. That is not one of the flare stacks. So it appears that there may have been some sort of explosion that happened here at around 9:30. Residents in the area, including an NBC4 photographer, heard the sound, came out, and then saw all of the smoke and fire coming from the refinery. So again, what I'm seeing that does not look typical is what you're seeing there, which is essentially on the north side of the refinery. But what we're seeing here to a little bit more to the southwest here, these 2 flare stacks, that is typical behavior here at refineries. Whenever they do have excess gases, what they do is they will flare it off using these flare stacks. So what you're seeing here is a safety device. This is how it's supposed to operate. But again, there's just portions here of the refinery that do not look to be normal behavior here. And what we're seeing as well are lots of street closures in the area here. It's an effort to just keep the traffic away. So we do see this closure here just off of Sepulveda Boulevard. I'll give you a cross street here. So it's essentially the area of Rosecrans and Sepulveda. You're going to want to avoid that area down to Marine Avenue. That's kind of the heart of it. And the fire departments here on scene, we have, of course, the Chevron Refinery Fire Department. Refineries have their own fire departments so that they can tackle anything that happens within the refinery. Typically, they're able to resolve it on their own with their specialized crew, but sometimes it does require that additional outside resources come to assist. So in this case, I know that the LA County Fire Department is here assisting, and then I'm also hearing that other refineries in the area, like Valero in Wilmington, is sending firefighters, their own specialized refinery firefighters to the scene to assist, because refinery fires aren't fought the same way that a regular fire would be fought. You can't just put water on it. And pardon the shot here. We had a turn here real quick to talk to some incoming aircraft. But refinery fires aren't fought in the same way that you would fight a typical fire, so you can't necessarily put water on the fire. Usually it is fought with foam. The foam helps to basically kill the oxygen, for lack of a better way of describing it. So it helps to get rid of the oxygen, which without oxygen you can't have a fire. So typically that is why foam is used in these types of situations. You can use water in some respects. You can use water to just help keep things cool, so you can wet down some of the refinery equipment around where the fire is occurring, and just to try to keep that equipment cool and prevent that from heating up. And just making it a more difficult firefight for these firefighters. But again, usually what we see in these situations is that you will see the firefighters use foam, but you can, in certain areas of the refinery, you will see them use water to just try to cool things down. So again, this is at the Chevron refinery here in El Segundo, just south of LAX. Of course, this whole area in the South Bay is replete with refineries. We have the Torrance refinery, we have Phillips 66, we have Marathon, we have Valero, and of course Chevron here, which is one of the biggest. It provides 40% of the fuel that is used for jet fuel. And in terms of the regular gas that you and I use, it provides about 20% of that gas here for our area. So could this eventually down the road, can't give you a timeline, could this lead to higher gas prices? Absolutely, considering that they are such a big player in the gas industry here in Los Angeles County. But again, a fire burning here at the Chevron refinery. Back with you guys here. So you do see the fire crews here. Again, it's a mix of LA County as well as refinery firefighters. The refinery firefighters are employees of the refinery, so they don't go and fight fires outside of the refinery unless a fellow refinery needs their assistance. So when they're not fighting fires, they are working as employees doing other things at the refinery. And again, the area that looks out of place to me is this here. The fire I was just showing you off to the left there. Those are the stacks. That's how it should look. But what looks off to me is this that you see right here. Again, unclear exactly what happened that may have gone wrong. But around 9:30 tonight, there was some sort of explosion here that was heard throughout the area. We even saw citizen video of people up in Venice having dinner at a restaurant in the area that just went running for the hills because this was a massive explosion that was visible for miles. In fact, as soon as we took off from Whiteman Airport in Pacoima, we could already see the fire, and that is a long ways away. I'm not even going to try to count how many miles it is away, but it is a lot on the San Fernando Valley side of the city, and this is all the way south of LAX. So again, this area right here is what looks out of the ordinary to me, and I believe I know the name of this unit. It might be the Isomax unit. If that is in fact what that unit is, essentially it will take thicker oils, heavy oils that we can't use in our cars and jet engines. It will take that those heavy oils and basically break them down into lighter fuels that can be used by regular folks like you and me in our cars and in aircraft. But again, that's what it appears like to me. But with not knowing for sure, I can't say 100% that is what is on fire here. But you do see that the fire that is coming from this unit is definitely out of place. And I also see water shooting down here. You can see it there. It's So you see the water there. You'll remember if you were just listening a few minutes ago, I was talking about how water can be used just to kind of keep things cool. You see that heavy stream there. So water can be used just to keep the equipment cool, but won't necessarily be fought or be used to fight the actual fire. Usually with refinery fires, because of all of the oils involved, it does usually require that firefighters use foam to essentially get rid of the oxygen, and then that's what will put the fire out. And the oxygen itself can be very cooling to the equipment as well. So it just it's good all around. But again, you'll notice that we will see water, but that water won't necessarily be hitting any of those active flames. So once again, if you're just joining us, we've got a fire burning here at the Chevron refinery in El Segundo. Over here, where you see that stack, that is typical behavior here at the refineries. It's usually not this big of a plume. It usually is a lot smaller, but that's exactly what it should work like. Whenever they have excess gases, they release them through flaring off like that. But what is out of the norm here is what you see over here. So this is not a stack. This is actually a piece of equipment. It might be the ISOMAX unit. But again, there was some sort of explosion that happened at around 9:30 tonight. Residents in the area heard it. Go ahead, Jamie. Copy. Copy that. Will you tell NOC that that's the order so that they have the IFBs ready to go? Let's see. Yeah, it's not. Hey there, NOC. I have it up. It's just static right now. Yeah, I hear you. It's just a bunch of static, though. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, not hearing you yet. Will you talk to me on it? I'm talking to NOC. No, it's nothing but static. Yes. Yeah, I can make you out, but there's nothing but static behind you. No, just a bunch of static. Could you try oat, maybe? I can hear you. I can barely make it out. I think I could probably get by as long as they don't ask me any questions after the initial report. Okay. I hear you there. Yeah, that sounds good. On NBC sounds good. I hear you there, yeah. I can hear Cabana. Back with you guys here on NBCLA.com. We were just getting a few things ready there for our upcoming newscasts at 11 on both Telemundo Channel 52 and NBC4. But just to recap what's going on, we're here at the Chevron Refinery in El Segundo, just off of Rosecrans and Sepulveda. Let me show you what those streets look like so you can get an idea for what the traffic is doing here through the area. So this is Sepulveda Boulevard here, and then Rosecrans is the east-west that runs from left to right across the street. You'll notice Sepulveda Boulevard is still open through the area, but we do have this closure here on Rosecrans Avenue, which is the southern end of the refinery. I can't quite see the northern end from this vantage point, so I'm not really sure what the street closures look like on that end, but I can in all likelihood guarantee you that the street is shut down on the north side as well. but we're directly south of LAX, and it was at around 9:30 tonight that there was some sort of explosion here at the refinery in one of the units, what I believe to be the Isomax unit. And so if that is in fact that unit, what it does is it takes heavy oils and breaks them down into lighter oils and more valuable products like gasoline and jet fuel that you can use in cars and planes. So it takes it from basically an unusable product to you, and it makes it usable. So for some reason, there was something that went wrong tonight. This huge explosion occurred, and you do still see heavy flame coming from that unit. But you'll also notice that there's water kind of shooting down. We also have the heavy streams here from the fire department. That is in an effort to keep everything around the fire cool. And so you won't actually see actually won't see that the firefighters are putting any water on those flames. It's not that they're missing, but it's just that this is a fire that isn't fought with water. It's typically fought with foam. The water is just used to cool everything around the unit, and just to kind of buy firefighters some time about how the best way to address this fire is, and typically it is with foam. Helps to kill the oxygen, and without oxygen you have no fire. So typically that is how they fight these fires. The Chevron refinery has its own fire department, as do all refineries in the area. Marathon, Phillips, we have Valero as well. They all have refinery firefighters. They are highly trained men and women who are specifically trained on how to fight fires at refineries. They go out to Texas every year for their training for a couple weeks, and throughout the year they have continued training to make sure that they're ready and able to fight a fire of this magnitude. So the refinery fire department will take the lead on something like this, but LA County is also assisting. At this point, they're pretty much being directed by the refinery fire department and letting them know what their needs are. El Segundo Fire has also been called to the scene, so they're also here. So again, at this point, the fire department is still trying to determine what is the best course of action. They can try to put foam on it, or in some situations, they can just let the fire burn itself out. If you run out of the fuel source that is causing these flames, then eventually the fire will just knock itself out. So in my 15 years of flying up here in the helicopter, I've only seen one other refinery fire like this. I can't remember which refinery it was. It's been that long. So that goes to show you just how infrequent incidents like this are. So it's not typically something that we see. Something that we typically do see, though, is this. So these are your flare stacks. What you see here is very typical fire behavior at a refinery. When refineries have excess gases, they need to off-gas those, and they do that through these stacks. Earlier, both of these that I'm zooming in on, they were going pretty good. You can see that the one there now on the right is starting to somewhat fizzle out, but the one in the center is still going. But again, seeing something like this is very typical. The residents in the area are very familiar with seeing the stacks going off like this. So if you see this, it is not part of the incident that happened today. This is just its natural behavior that it will do that. But again, what is out of the norm here is this stack over here to the northeast of the stacks here, where we do still have active flame here shooting up from this unit. And I do see something here. I'm trying to see if that is one of the aerial ladders. Looks like it might be some sort of a ladder here that is being it is an aerial ladder. Thank you, Bill. I couldn't quite see here. But yeah, some sort of aerial ladder. And again, you won't see them put water directly on the fire. They'll put it everywhere else. They want to keep the equipment around the fire as cool as possible. And just keeping everything else cool does buy them some time to figure out a game plan. Are they going to fight this with foam? Are they going to let this fizzle out? The good news is no injuries so far. So thankfully, no injuries to any of the employees at this point. No injuries to any of the firefighters as well. And again, this is a mutual aid assignment. We have not only Chevron here, but we have firefighters from some of the other local refineries, including Valero, that are making their way out here to assist in the firefight. Okay, so there's that ladder that we saw them getting into place. Again, you're not going to see them put the water directly on the flames, at least not at this point. They're just kind of trying to cool down everything else around the fire as they work to determine what the best course of action is. So again, in some cases, they just let this burn itself out. If they know they don't have a lot of fuel left to burn, they can let it burn itself out. But in most cases, at least what I've seen, is they do fight this with foam, which just gets rid of the oxygen, and then without oxygen, you have no fire. It's a part of the fire triangle. And over here, what we have is that stack that is, again, typical for refineries. You will often see that they off-gas that way. And then over here, you have all of the fire trucks here from, it's a mix of the LA County Fire Department, El Segundo Fire. You've also got the refinery department, the Chevron Refinery Fire Department, and they also do have their own trucks. So it's a mix of all of them. The LA County fire trucks, they should have a yellow stripe, and from this angle, I don't see a yellow stripe on these. So these are likely the trucks that belong to the refinery, or maybe even El Segundo. But again, at this point, no reported injuries, and some sort of explosion that occurred here tonight at approximately 9:30 tonight put out a lot of flame that was visible for miles. We saw it as soon as we lifted up from the San Fernando Valley. So that just goes to show you how big this fire was, and it continues to be a big fire, but a lot better than when it first broke out. A lot of residents in the area, of course, they heard this, including one of our NBC photographers who happens to live in the area. And as soon as he stepped out of his home, he saw the heavy flames coming here from the Chevron refinery. And again, this is not typical. It is very rare for refineries to have a fire of this magnitude. This is something that will be investigated by OSHA to figure out exactly what occurred. And a lot of the time with things like this, the refineries can be penalized as well, economically that is. They could be fined if there was some sort of error that was happening that led to this explosion. But again, all of that is going to be under investigation. It takes some time to determine those things. But in terms of how this could affect you and me, Chevron is a major producer of gasoline here in the area. They contribute 20% of the gas here in our general area, and that's for our vehicles. But then for aircraft, they provide 40%. So that could lead to higher prices down the line. But at this point, all I can say is that the fire department is focused on putting the fire out, and then everything else will get figured out later, as it always does. But at this point, unknown cause, but again, a fire burning here at the Chevron refinery in El Segundo. Back with you guys here. We continue to monitor here the fire in El Segundo at the Chevron refinery located off of Rosecrans and Sepulveda. Sepulveda Boulevard remains open through the area, or at least it was a second ago. I'm going to actually pan over there because I think it might have just shut down as I was preparing to talk to you guys here again. So this is Sepulveda Boulevard, the one that goes up and down across the screen. It looks like you will not be able to continue northbound on Sepulveda once you get to Rosecrans. That's the Hawthorne Police Department that has set up there. And on the other end, it's also a closure somewhere. Yep, there's the other closure. Looks like the south closure on El Segundo Boulevard is at El Segundo. Or at Sepulveda Boulevard is on El Segundo. So if you're southbound Sepulveda, once you get to El Segundo Boulevard, you're going to be diverted either east or west from there. There's a few stragglers there. You still see a couple cars coming through. But then if you're northbound Sepulveda, when you get to Rosecrans, you're going to be forced to go to the east. You will not be able to go west because that is where the fire is burning. This is Rosecrans Avenue here between Sepulveda and the ocean. This is where the Chevron refinery is located, just south of LAX here in El Segundo. And it was around 9:30 tonight that residents in the area report hearing a loud explosion. And then there was this massive fireball coming here from the Chevron refinery. Now, it appears that this unit is what caught fire. I believe this is the ISOMAX unit from my limited knowledge here of refineries. But I believe that this is the ISOMAX unit. And essentially, if that is that unit, what it does is it takes heavy oils, heavy fuels, and converts them into usable products like gas and Jet A. This, of course, is not supposed to be this way. There is another area of flame that's going to be at the actual stacks, which is typical for a refinery to experience. Whenever they need an off gas, what they do is they have these flare-ups. It allows for those gases to be emitted that way in a safe manner, the way that they were intended. So if you ever do see a fire that is coming from a refinery and it's from a stack like this, chances are it's supposed to be that way, and it's not what happened today, though. Today was definitely a different occurrence that led to a fire elsewhere on the property where there shouldn't be any flames. And what we do see now, though, is that the flames have diminished significantly from when this fire first broke out about an hour ago. You do have the refinery firefighters on scene. You have El Segundo, you have LA County, and they're putting water not directly on the flames, but on the equipment around it. The objective is to keep everything else around it cool, so that the fire, of course, doesn't spread, doesn't heat up anything else. And it also just buys the fire department time to figure out, are they going to fight this with foam, or are they just going to let this fizzle itself out? At this point, it's pretty much fizzling itself out. So the latter seems to be the case at this point. But again, these types of fires are not very common. I can only remember one other fire at a refinery in my last 15 years that was similar to this, where I did see the firefighters bring out foam. They knocked it out. And nobody was hurt, thankfully, and today's fire as well. As far as we know, no injuries have been reported, and the cause is still unknown. FM3? Oh yeah, it's static. Maybe going through and telling people to just shelter in place. It's because there's not an evacuation order. Yeah, he might just be there to just let residents know to stay indoors. So if you, yeah, oh, that's a good question. So I was just talking to George here, folks, George Marcineau here at News Chopper 4. He was asking, I wonder if it blew out any windows, this explosion blew out any windows in the neighborhood. It'll be interesting to see if it was that magnitude to be able to cause something like that. Residents, of course, heard the explosion. They're smelling the smoke coming from the refinery as well. But at this point, there are no evacuation orders in place. But you are being asked to stay indoors if you can. Of course, you want to keep your windows and doors shut naturally. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. But the good news is the area that was on fire that we're looking at right here looks like it is looking a lot better. I'm not really seeing much in the way of flame here coming from that one unit. Again, this was the unit that caught on fire under unknown circumstances at this point. The fire department did set up a heavy stream there to kind of cool down the area around the fire. I never actually saw them directly hitting the flames because typically with these types of fires, you fight them with foam and not with water. But you see that heavy stream there continuing to put water on the equipment, trying to kind of keep things cool. And down below, we also have additional fire crews kind of scattered throughout the refinery here that are just continuing to keep things cool, trying to prevent anything from overheating, and so they could isolate the source of the flames, which they absolutely have. Everything looks so much better than when we first got word of this fire now. Over an hour ago, started at about 9:30 or so. It's already 10:45 here in Los Angeles, so over an hour, but it looks like the bulk of the fire has been knocked down. And again, you will see the two stacks over here that have been going that one on the far right actually had pretty much gone out, and now it's back on. But seeing the stacks like this, that is very typical. That is how you off gas whenever you have an issue at the refinery when you need to off gas. That's what you see, those flare-ups. But what happened today here with this other piece of machinery, that was completely different and out of the norm. And just on the foot of it there, just on the foot of that machinery, I do still think I see a bit of flame here and there. You kind of still see those tiny little flames there at the base of the unit. But overall, the situation looks so much better here at the Chevron refinery in El Segundo. Oh, do we? Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Jamie. Jamie, for the chopper, go ahead. I'm sorry, Desk, go ahead. Hey, Desk on the 450, will you repeat? Copy that. And once again, thank you to everyone who is joining us here on NBCLA.com and all of our streaming platforms. We do have 10 minutes here till we start our newscast at 11 o'clock. We hope you can tune in for that. Before then, though, real quick, I'm just going to do a news update for our sister station Telemundo before resuming our coverage in English. Once again, from News Chopper 4, I'm Eliana Moreno. Thank you for watching. Buenas noches desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre la refinería de Chevron localizada aquí en la ciudad de El Segundo, justo al sur del aeropuerto de Los Ángeles. En el área de las calles Rosecrans Avenue y la calle Sepúlveda. Aquí es donde aproximadamente a las 9:30 de la noche hubo un incidente, posiblemente una explosión en la refinería que causó un incendio en una maquinaria justo en el centro de la pantalla. Los bomberos de la refinería junto con los bomberos de El Segundo y el condado de Los Ángeles ya han podido controlar la mayoría de las llamas, pero el incidente, claro, va a estar bajo investigación. Es un incidente que causó mucho pánico aquí en el área, ya que la explosión fue oída aquí por varias áreas, incluyendo hasta en el área de Venice, hacia el norte. Y eso fue un incendio muy grande que podíamos ver desde el Valle de San Fernando cuando estábamos viniendo en esta dirección. Al momento, como les digo, se desconoce la causa de la explosión, pero los bomberos siguen aquí combatiendo lo que queda de las llamas. Pero también quiero mostrarles estas antorchas que están aquí más hacia el oeste de la refinería. Lo que ven aquí es muy normal para una refinería. Cuando tienen gases en exceso, es la manera en la cual los trabajadores de la refinería se deshacen de esos gases usando estas antorchas. Son antorchas de seguridad, en verdad. Entonces, ver llamas viniendo de estas antorchas es un incidente muy común que se ve en todas las refinerías aquí en el área, donde es un área donde están la mayoría de las refinerías, la refinería de Chevron, tenemos a Valero, tenemos a Phillips 66 y Marathon también. Entonces, ver incendio, ver llamas viniendo de esas antorchas es muy común, pero lo que vimos hoy, el incendio en esta maquinaria alrededor de las 9:30 de la noche, eso sí no era un incidente que vemos aquí con frecuencia. Al momento pensamos que en verdad sí fue una explosión que ocurrió aquí. Afortunadamente nadie fue herido, pero el incidente sigue bajo investigación. Reportando aquí desde el Segundo, desde el helicóptero, yo soy Eliana Moreno, del Mundo 52. Let me check. Right in front. That's 5. Yeah. I believe 7 was out my door earlier. Let me see. So I've got 5 off my nose, and then 9 is out your side. 7's not here. Yeah, they're not here. They're not on ADSB. I'm back with you guys here in English on NBC. We were just saying in Spanish how this incident started at 9:30. What was likely an explosion here in some machinery at the refinery that was heard for miles. It was seen for miles. We saw it as soon as we took off from Whiteman Airport in the San Fernando Valley, which is a long ways away. What we're also seeing is that we still got the 2 flare stacks going. But again, this is typical fire behavior here at refineries. It's how they off-gas, how they get rid of excess flammable gases. So seeing that is very typical. We do still have a large contingency here of firefighters. This was a second alarm fire when it was first dispatched to LA County, but they are not the lead agency on this. The lead agency is the refinery firefighters, the highly skilled men and women who are trained to fight refinery fires throughout the year. They receive, of course, special training. They go out to Texas to get that training because refinery fires aren't fought the way a typical structure fire would be. Usually it requires the use of foam instead of water. But tonight you obviously did see them using water, but really the purpose of that was just to kind of keep everything else cool, all the machinery around the point of ignition, to keep all of that cool while firefighters determined if they needed the foam or if they just needed to let this fizzle out on its own. It pretty much did look like it kind of just fizzled out on its own, but we did have this heavy stream here shooting water very close to the flames at the time. I don't know that they were actually hitting them directly, but again, as I was saying, they were trying to just keep the surroundings cool, and overall, the situation looks so much better. There are no mandatory evacuations for residents in the area, but of course you are being asked to keep your windows and doors shut. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. But at this point, it looks like the Worst has passed. Streets will remain shut down here in the area, though. Rosecrans Avenue shut down from Sepulveda over to the beach, and Sepulveda Boulevard also shut down through the area from Rosecrans up to El Segundo. Oh, just flared back up. Yep, just flared back up. Yeah. NOC, can you give me a test on the Kavea IFB? Got you there, thank you. Perfect, thank you. Hola, Telemundo, we're ready. Estamos listos. Oh, I had it for a second. Oh, there it is, cool. I do hear you, Telemundo, lista. En el segundo. Hola, hola, lista, lista. Aquí. Okay, perfecto. Copy. Copy. incendio continúa aquí en la refinería de Chevron, localizada aquí en el Segundo, en las calles Rosecrans y Sepúlveda. Es un incendio que empezó aproximadamente a las 9:30 de la noche, después de una explosión que ocurrió en una maquinaria de la refinería. Al momento se desconoce la causa, pero cuando el incendio empezó, era visto por residentes hasta el Valle de San Fernando. Era un incendio masivo. Parecía un infierno aquí en la refinería, y como pueden ver, el incendio continúa. Los bomberos de la refinería están aquí en la escena, junto con bomberos de otras refinerías en el área, incluyendo Valero, que han venido aquí para combatir el incendio, ya que este tipo de incendio es diferente de lo que los bomberos del condado de Los Ángeles normalmente combaten, pero ellos también están aquí asistiendo junto con los bomberos de la ciudad de El Segundo. Es un incendio que normalmente tiene que ser combatido con espuma en lugar de agua. La agua en verdad solo es usada en la maquinaria alrededor para tratar de que la maquinaria alrededor no se caliente y los bomberos puedan combatir las llamas. Pero al momento el incendio continúa. Voy a agrandar la imagen aquí para mostrarles toda la refinería y también mostrarles unas antorchas que quedan hacia el oeste. Este incendio que ven aquí, esto es muy normal, son antorchas de seguridad, pero como les digo, el incendio después de esa explosión continúa aquí en la refinería de Chevron, aquí en el Segundo. Reportando desde el helicóptero, yo soy Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. Thanks, guys. NBC, I'm ready for you. Copy. Yeah, I do. Hi. Yes. Copy. Copy that. Copy that. Kathy, when we first arrived, it was an inferno. There was flame as far as the eye could see. In fact, we could see the flames all the way from the San Fernando Valley. But just a few minutes ago, it looked like the situation was getting a lot better. The flames that you see there in the center of the screen, they were essentially gone. But then right before our 11 o'clock newscast began, that is when we started to see the flames again. So either one of two things likely happened. They're either trying to relieve the pressure or one of the valves gave out. But the unit that appears to be on fire, I believe is what's called the ISOMAX unit. Essentially what they do is they take thicker oils that we can't use and convert them into lighter fuels that we can, like gasoline or jet fuel. So that appears to be the machine that is on fire here for unknown reasons. Now the fire department, they can't really battle this one with water. Yes, you will see them putting water around, but it is just to keep things cool. They really do, in all likelihood, need foam to put out these flames. That's latest here from the Chevron refinery in El Segundo. I'm Eliana Moreno. Back to you in the studio. Copy. 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 All right, cool. Okay. Copy. Copy. Go ahead, desk. Sure. Telemundo, we're ready. Oh, with Kathy instead? Okay, yeah. NBC first then? They asked for me, but through the desk. The desk was the one that told me. Are we doing NBC first, guys? Kavea first. Okay, thank you. Kavea, helicopter's ready. Okay, so NBC first. Cool. NBC, I was told you're coming up first, so. By the desk. They told me go to you first, and then Kavea. Kathy, and we're still seeing a lot of active flame coming from that one unit on the east side of the refinery that caught fire tonight, and some sort of explosion. Now you're going to see that heavy stream there. They are putting water around the fire. They're not putting it directly on it, as refinery fires are fought differently than your typical fires. Usually those are fought with foam. So at this point, the objective of the fire department is to keep everything around it cool to prevent that fire from spreading to anything else, of course, and just to make it a little bit easier of a firefight here for the firefighters on scene, which are really a mutual aid assignment. Of course, Chevron Refinery has their own fire department, as do all refineries in the area, and they're getting assistance from some of those refineries nearby, including Valero. And now we also have additional units from outside of the refinery world. Here we have LA County, and we have El Segundo Fire Department also on scene assisting. This is a second alarm fire for LA County, and you will also see these additional flames here at the stacks. That is very typical behavior. That is used to get rid of excess flammable gases here at the refinery. So people around the area are used to seeing those stacks emanating flame, but the flame here tonight coming from this piece of machinery here is very out of the ordinary. Refinery fires are not something we typically see even up here in News Chopper 4. So the fact that we do have some equipment on fire tonight is highly out of the ordinary. Folks in the area are being asked to stay away. If you live in the area, you are being asked to stay inside. You're not being told to evacuate, but just keep your windows and doors here while the fire department continues their efforts here in El Segundo. That's latest here from News Chopper 4. I'm Eliana Moreno. Back to you in the studio. Telemundo, we're ready for you. Go ahead, Bill. Okay. Cool, got it. Thank you. Telemundo, I hear you. Estamos listos. Okay. Y hablando de esos residentes, acabamos de recibir información que ciertas calles de Manhattan Beach, los residentes de esas casas, la ciudad les está pidiendo que por favor permanezcan adentro de sus casas, especialmente si viven en la calle 45 o la avenida Highland. Pero el incendio aquí continúa aquí en la refinería Chevron, en el área de El Segundo, justo al sur del aeropuerto de Los Ángeles, cerca de las calles Rosecrans y Sepúlveda, donde los bomberos de la refinería junto con bomberos del condado de Los Ángeles y de la ciudad de El Segundo siguen combatiendo el incendio en una maquinaria que empezó después de una explosión que ocurrió alrededor de las 9:30 de la noche. Entonces ya van a casi 2 horas que los bomberos siguen aquí en la escena tratando de controlar el incendio, y al momento no pueden echar agua en las llamas. Este es un diferente tipo de incendio que normalmente es combatido con espuma. Al momento no he visto la espuma en ninguna de estas camionetas de los bomberos que han llegado a la escena. Entonces siguen echando agua en la maquinaria para tratar de prevenir que el incendio continúe y empiece a quemar otras áreas de la refinería. Reportando desde El Segundo, desde el helicóptero, yo soy Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. NBC, I'm back with you. Yeah, it's 11:24, so yeah, we. I know Robert's gonna talk right now, so they'll use our pictures, and then. I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, copy that. Tap in. Copy. Copy that. Okay, copy. Kathy, and firefighters are calling this a reignition of plant number 7, which is where the fire began now 2 hours ago here at the Chevron refinery in El Segundo off of Rosecrans and Sepulveda. At this point, it's unknown what started the fire, but residents in the area report hearing a loud explosion and a fire that was visible all the way from the San Fernando Valley. Refinery firefighters, along with the LA County Fire Department and El Segundo, continue to put water on the machinery around the flames, but but these types of fires are usually fought better with foam. So at this point, the firefight continues here at the machinery in question here on the east end of the Chevron refinery. If you live in the area, you're going to want to stay indoors. Keep your windows and doors closed. You don't want to breathe this stuff in, and just avoid the area. That's latest here from El Segundo in News Chopper 4. I'm Eliana Moreno. Back to you, Kathy, in the studio. I think so. Thanks, guys. Let me call the desk. Assignment desk from the chopper on the 450. Just making sure we're clear to depart.